up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, if your name is Drake, you are letting everybody know that you are a BA. I would say N, but it said you something else. Y'all, what am I talking about? I know you already heard. Drake had to withdraw his suit against Universal Music Group last night in humiliation. He got nothing. And whatever happened in negotiations, the streets are saying was so bad that Drake walked away with nothing. But like every sore loser that Drake has exposed himself to be, y'all, he actually filed a defamation suit against Universal Music Group for they not like us. Now, here's the thing, and we're going to go into this because we might even go over the legal documents, but we need to take time and actually laugh about this because there's a few things. One, how are you trying to destroy the very nature of a rap beef? The very nature of a rap beef you instigated. Let's not forget, you were the one that brought the PDF claims into the rap beef. And Kendrick caught flight. And baby, he was direct. You were the one that used Universal Music Group and was taunting Kendrick because you thought they were going to bind his hands like they did Pusha T. In your mind, Kendrick was some like little no-name flunky and not Universal, one of Universal's biggest rap artists and had the biggest grossing rap tour for I think it was 2023 or 2000. I think it was 2023. Because this happened in 2024. The fact that your own arrogance and pride literally got you to do this, the fact that you don't care that you will forever be remembered as a bitch, a blank, the fact that you really sued UMG for defamation. And let's also not forget that Drake is probably going to drop another lawsuit on Kendrick in Super Bowl because you want to pull not like us from the cultural lexicon and you wanted to erase. On top of that, you were making claims of anti Semitism and you were trying to blame Kendrick for your OVO Toronto mansion being shot. Drake went full Karen. Drake has proven more than anything you were nothing but a colonizer. You didn't even understand what a rap beef was, except when your rich baby daddy, Lucian Grange, was helping you win and messing with the Spotify charts and doing all this stuff. Let's not forget when Picture T's thing came out, UMG went into action and had every single thing pulled down to save Drake's reputation. And now we look and see what's going on, and Drake is truly the biggest loser out there. Y'all, let's get into this because I swear you can't make this up, right? One, the top 10 things that we should clown Drake about in this lawsuit. I'll go over the legal documents later, but for now, let's look over this. Drake's lawyer is saying that Kendrick threatened his life in the song. They said later the recording artist threatens that if Drake comes out to Oakland, where Kendrick Lamar grew up, he will not make it out alive. And then they quote Kendrick saying, I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop." Is this after Drake was laughing and reposting Rick Ross getting beat up by a Hell's Angel? Is this after Drake not threatening to bring his Toronto goons? Is this not after all this stuff? But you know what? Let's keep going because I'm glad Drake was listening to They Not Like Us too. And I forgot this part. Drake is also suing over people calling him white and Jewish. He's literally saying that Kendrick's song "Not Like Us" is anti-Semitic. In paragraph 42, it said, furthering the recording's refrain that Drake is not like us. The recording alludes to Drake's Jewish heritage, saying that Drake is not a colleague, but he's an ethnic colonizer. Y'all, Drake, you are not like us. The fact that all this went down, the fact that Drake was humiliated, the fact that everything happened, and Drake still doesn't even understand the not like us means you are not Black American. Stop cosplaying that you are Black American. Just like Jewish people have a heritage, just like Indian people have a heritage, British people have heritage, Chinese people have heritage, Black people, because we are American, right? We have our own distinct heritage. And Drake was colonizing it and wearing it as cosplay. Drake is pulling, one of the more interesting things, right, that I think is super interesting. One of the funniest parts of the lawsuit was towards the end when he was citing all the YouTube comments, Twitter comments, like every online comment about him. He's definitely leading into this anti Semitic accusations, which makes me think, do you think that Drake is going to cite our "you were a man wig, a man unit" in his lawsuit? If you guys don't know, I did a great video about how I believe that Drake's straightbacks were, in fact, a man unit. Baby, you know I love a good 30-inch bust down. There is no shame in wearing a weave or a wig, but I want to free Drake from the shackles of Black American cosplay. He then went on to cite comments saying, I'll say it. Them, I'm not even going to say this because it is anti Semitic, but how is it that you are doing this when we can go to King Jared and the rest of your bitch ass fan accounts that were tweeting the most disgusting, vile things about Kendrick's wife? The things that you said, Kendrick's family, Black Americans, you leaned in to the anti Black American rhetoric. You know what the thing is that I hate most about Drake? The fact that you are the biggest offender and then you want to do a Karen and call the management. I can tell you was raised by your mama Drake. Actually, Dennis is the one that abandoned you, so you can put his name on the BA. We can call him an N word also. Listen, this is, and also on top of that, like at its core, Drake's biggest fear in this lawsuit is that the song is being embedded forever in the history as a major cultural event. He wants to stop it at all costs from being performed at the Super Bowl, and he wants the song erased from the map. In paragraph 11, it says, but billions of plays and ubiquity were not enough for UMG. Over the course of the last several months, USG has made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the recording to be performed at one of the most significant and viewed cultural events of the year, the Super Bowl. Um, Let me just say this. All these people thinking that Drake has a case, Drake 100% does not have a case. This is nothing but him trying to throw a temper tantrum. He got nothing from that last thing that he said. He walked away with nothing. Now he is just trying to bleed UMG dry. And let me just say this, okay? Because, first of all, right? The irony of all this is every time people are over that song and begin to move on, Drake is giving it a new life. And honestly, you have to think, Drake was the one who first brought up the PDF file allegations in his song Tailor Made back when he thought UMG would prevent Kendrick from releasing any response, and he was mocking him for not responding. Remember when he was like, drop, drop, drop? He thought UMG had his back and was going to stop Kendrick from doing everything. Let's also not forget the conference call that allegedly happened when Drake's side was begging Kendrick to stop releasing stuff, even though he was acting big and bad. It will, and again, it's going to be so easy for UMG to talk about the real reason behind that shooting and the other shootings that Drake and his crew are associated with. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, remember that shooting that happened outside Drake's mansion that we now know was maybe with some Toronto beef with Warren gangs, and Drake always want to be in the middle of stuff, and he got a weirdo staying at his house and Chubbs, he don't really crash out. But at the end of the day, it's weird to me that Drake is now trying to blame Kendrick for the shooting that happened outside his mansion. He is going full into the black kid is mean and he did all this stuff. And I suggest, as if Drake isn't one of the most grimy weirdos that I think, it's my opinion, based off of what I've read, that is actually out there. Like, I will say this, right? Drake looks like he was already planning to sue all the way back in July. And after reading all 82 pages, I have no doubt that Drake has a lawsuit against Kendrick ready to go that he's probably going to drop on Super Bowl. But I will say this, right? Drake is playing a very dangerous game because UMG could really ruin him, and I think they will ruin him. That lawsuit sounds really good and airtight to someone who has no clue about Drake's alleged shady history and the type of people on his payroll and around him. Might I remind you guys that the legal age of consent in Canada is 16. The legal consent in most of the areas Drake hung out with, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, right, is 18, right? The age of where Drake was doing his dirt is actually that whole little ranch compound that Drake bought in Texas. UMG knows about that. UMG, if Drake was involved in anything, had to pay off anybody, had to bribe people, had to do cover ups. UMG knows exactly what type of shady ish Drake is into. And the fact that, listen, the consequences of this, I think the saddest thing is the fact that Drake is trying to make any future rap beat legal just because he lost. Drake is the epitome of a Karen. And the fact that we are now trying to say that you were acting like a Karen, and he's literally pulling the anti Semitic card, he's pulling the victim card, he's pulling the mean black kid is trying to hurt me card. And on top of that, he is acting like he isn't one of the slimiest people out there according to reports. We'll see what comes out. Again, we're going to see how it goes. Drake does not have a Drake does not have a strong case. The payments he's referring to is removing copyrights and daring to promote another artist's music. He did say that he's also being bullied in his hometown of Toronto, and he is talking about that he was planning this back in July. Y'all, what do y'all think about this? Let me go live. Put one in the comments if you want me to go live later and read the legal documents, because they actually are a really good read. It's 62 pages, but it's 62 good pages. But what do y'all think? Drake is not going to win this at all. He's playing with fire, but you know what? I hope UMG does put all his business out in the street. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.